When women lead to build foundations, not to break ceilings. We have put an Indian startup on the list of top AI, digital health, and women-founded startups in the world. We have used technology to make a difference, says Geeta Manjunath, founder and CEO, Niramay Health Analytics. Women are powerful agents of change. According to a Boston Consulting Group report, startups founded or co-founded by women generate 10% more cumulative revenue over a 5-year period. Not only are women as effective as men, they have proved themselves to be more competent on many fronts, including innovation, resilience, integrity, initiative, collaboration, networking, and creativity. In India, the number of women in the technology sector has risen over the years. According to 451 research, women comprise 34% of the IT workforce, with the majority of them under the age of 30. This is expected to improve further with the launch of Gender Advancement for Transforming Institutions, or GATI, an initiative by the government's Department of Science and Technology meant to promote gender equity in the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine domains. According to the India Brand Equity Foundation 2022 report, 45% of the startups in India are run by women, of which over 50,000 are recognized by the government. Women entrepreneurs in particular receive a fillip with the institutions of the Women Entrepreneurship Platform, or WEP, in 2018 by the government's think tank Niti Aayog, as the objective was to create an ecosystem to give wings to their aspirations and innovations. The additional bonus is the financial support given by Small Industries Development Bank of India, or SIDBI, under the aegis of WEP. Initiatives like this and those that empower women in STEM are critical, considering the odds stacked against them. Entering a workforce traditionally considered a male domain, women have to grapple with an ecosystem that is structured to enable the success and leadership of men. This is visible in the Women in Tech Report India region by Skillsoft, which surveyed 1,004 women tech professionals in 2022 and found that only 7% held executive level positions, while 13% held managing director level positions. Part 1. Taking an unconventional plunge. If you have the will, passion, consistency, and knowledge, gender should never be the reason to stop you from reaching the top, contends Madhumita Agrawal, founder and CEO, Oben Electric. Madhumita has led by example as the first woman to co-found an Indian electric vehicle company that has indigenously designed and developed an e-motorcycle. Founded in August 2020, Oben Electric was born after Madhumita worked for almost 4 years in the electric mobility domain to understand the various facets of the auto industry. Headquartered in Bengaluru, Karnataka, the startup is pioneering the use of advanced battery chemistry, such as lithium iron phosphate, in electric two-wheelers in India. This has significant safety advantages, a longer life cycle, low discharge rate, less heating, and is cleaner than other widely used battery chemistries. The company holds over 18 patents for its proprietary technology and EV components. Madhumita's aim to provide Indian consumers with EVs comparable to internal combustion engine ICE products is probably why the company has received over 18,000 bookings for the Oben Roar e-motorcycle since its launch in March 2022. Our electric motorcycle is benchmarked against the 150cc ICE motorcycles with the highest range of 189 kilometers and highest acceleration of 0 to 40 in 3 seconds. As compared to competitors, it has the charging time of only 2 hours through its proprietary charging technology and a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour, states Madhumita. However, the journey to excel in a male-dominated auto industry came with its own challenges. Despite her impressive educational qualifications, a biotech engineering degree from Biju Patnaik University of Technology, Rourkela, an LLB from IIT Kharagpur, and an MBA degree from IIM Bangalore, many skeptics doubted her capabilities. Questions about her ability to run the business and her understanding of manufacturing as a woman were raised. She says, "Biases exist everywhere, but they can be put to rest if you know your domain well. I knew what I was talking. When people understood that, what I said added value to the discussion. They stopped asking such questions. I feel they look up to me because, as a woman, I have taken this unconventional plunge. I am respected for that in my organization and the industry." Always an entrepreneur. Following an unconventional path is not new for Madhumita, who showed early signs of going beyond the ordinary. Instead of pursuing an advanced degree in biotech engineering, she opted to study law, specializing in intellectual property at the Rajiv Gandhi School of Intellectual Property Law, IIT Kharagpur. This 3-year Bachelor of Laws residential program was to lay the foundation for her first innovative venture, IP Excel, a technology and innovation consulting firm. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit within me. Challenges caught my attention and seeking solutions fascinated me. So when I started my firm with my husband Dinkar Agrawal in 2012, it was to help technology companies develop innovations, improve existing technologies, and protect their intellectual property rights. When you are specializing in patents or intellectual property, you need to understand the different and finer nuances of technology. And this is why we were able to help multinational companies identify the technology right for them, she points out. Carving her niche in the world of Jugaad. IPXL managed to carve its own niche leveraging Madhumita's IP specialization and her husband's knowledge of innovation. It helped that her husband Dinkar, also an IIT Kharagpur alumnus, holds 5 patents as an innovator. Initially, selling our services was very hard because we are talking about innovation in a country where Jugaad is still appreciated. It was a hard sell, she notes. When you have a definite product, it's easier to convince customers. The product speaks for itself. When you have an IP service, the output could be intellectual property or a product that may hit the market only after a few months or years down the line. There is no immediate and tangible success or satisfaction for the customer. However, the value addition we brought helped us grow 200% every year. My husband and I were always determined to take our venture to new heights and not behave like a conventional firm, she says. Today, they have over 1,500 clients who represent different technology segments across 10 countries, including several on the list of Fortune 500 companies. From being just a 2-member firm, IPXL has more than 70 team members in India and the United States. The pivot of a lifetime. As IPXL raced up the growth and profit chart, another innovative idea was germinating in Madhumita's mind. Her work at IPXL had given her the opportunity to interact with clients in the EV sector. This allowed her to acquire hands-on experience in the entire value chain of EV technology, giving a holistic and strong understanding of the technology trends, issues, and gaps. In 2020, after internalizing all she had learned in the last 5 years, she decided it was time for a deep dive into the electric vehicle industry, a completely different technology space altogether. Madhumita eased herself out of primary responsibilities at IPXL and handed over the reins to the team she had trained and groomed. She still remains a member of the board of directors, but focuses solely on Oben Electric, the first woman co-founded EV startup in India. Why electric motorcycles? Initially, the aim was to develop an e-scooter. But after that, realizing India is predominantly a motorcycle-driven market, we also found that there were not enough quality products in the EV segments, she says. It is this gap that we wanted to fill. So our aim was threefold. First, provide the consumer with ICE comparable EV products. Second, ensure quality electric motorcycles and after-sales service. And third, create a product with a value proposition that speaks of high quality. As we are inspired by German design and engineering, we named the company Oben, a German word that means top. Entering a sector that was moving upwards has been a good strategic move. Over the past 5 years, e-mobility has gained a lot of traction. Steep fuel prices and rising prices of ICE vehicles due to new emission norms and raw materials are nudging consumers to move towards electric vehicles. The EV market is likely to reach 10 million annual sales, growing at a compound annual rate of 49% between 2022 and 2030. The government's Ministry of Road Transport and Highways data shows that as of August 2022, there were 13,92,265 EVs on Indian roads. By 2030, this number is likely to increase by 45 to 50 million EVs. Adding to this increased presence on the road will be electric two-wheelers. About 1,080,000 units are expected to be manufactured by the end of 2025. Government ramps up EV ecosystem. In 2019, nearly 152,000 electric two-wheelers were sold, indicating a 20.6% annual growth from 2014. Schemes like the Faster Adoption and Manufacturing of Hybrid and Electric Vehicles, or FAME as an acronym, introduced by the government in 2015 under the aegis of its National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020, has played a vital role behind the rise. Launched in 2 phases, FAME 1 provided direct subsidies and grants for specific projects, along with financial support for R&D, technology enhancement, and public charging infrastructure. FAME 2 was introduced in 2019 with a budgetary outlay of 10,000 crore rupees to promote large-scale adoption of EVs, EV-related infrastructure, and EV ecosystem development. FAME 2, which has been extended by 2 years up to 31st March 2024, has introduced some essential modifications. These changes will bring down the price of electric two-wheeler EVs nearer to internal combustion engine vehicles and will be beneficial for the original equipment manufacturers and its buyers. In particular, it provides incentives ranging from 1,800 rupees to 29,000 rupees for purchase of electric two-wheelers. Further, in November 2021, the government launched the e-Amrit portal as a one-stop destination for all EV-related information like charging location, investment opportunities, policies and subsidies in the sector to improve engagement. Wooing investors. The other big boost has come in the form of rising investor confidence in the EV startup space. Investments have grown exponentially over the last 3 years, thanks to the money provided by angel investors, corporates, venture capitalists, and private equity firms. We bootstrapped the company by pooling our own funds in the initial stages. We built a product in-house. At one point in time, we were wondering how we would pay salaries to the team, but our strong belief in our product helped us sail through and raise our first seed fund, shares Madhumita. They raised over $2 million in a seed round in November 2021 once the functional prototype was tested vigorously by investors. We Founders Circle, a New York-based investor, led a $2.5 million seed round for Oben. According to Madhumita, this is the largest funding secured by an electric two-wheeler startup. Recently, Oben received $4 million as part of their pre-series round of funding. This is going to be used to fulfill existing orders and ramp up production capacity. Priced at 1,24,999 rupees, Oben's e-bike is manufactured at their own factory in Bengaluru and its annual production capacity is 3 lakh. Motorcycles are complex to build and require rigorous R&D. It is a product that can be designed from scratch to cater to specific customer needs, geography and demography. There is no room for one-size-fits-all. This is something the customer looks for. We believe that for any EV company to succeed, the product needs to be designed and manufactured keeping the customer's needs in mind, and that needs innovation, says Madhumita. Winning in a man's world with innovation. Despite all these incentives, the push to develop their e-motorcycle came with a set of challenges. As EV is a new industry, we faced a couple of challenges such as scarcity of vendors and local suppliers of quality components. The dearth of workforce with required skill sets was another challenge, Madhumita adds. Taking each hurdle as an opportunity, they developed components necessary for their product rather than waiting for vendors. Besides pioneering the use of advanced battery chemistry, they developed GPS tracking on the battery pack, a fully digital instrument cluster with Bluetooth-based smartphone connectivity function and connected techs like battery status, geofencing, geotagging, ride details, charging station locator, and roadside assistance. The Oben's 14-member team of automotive experts, entrepreneurs, and strategists also came up with an innovative charging solution. Their e-bike can be fully charged in just 2 hours via a home charger that can be plugged into any 15 amperes power socket. As for performance, we have nailed it to zero-hassle recharge. That is our proprietary technology. This is what we believe will drive mass adoption of EVs, she says. Oben's triumphant launch in a market dominated by two-wheeler majors such as Bajaj, Hero MotoCorp, TVS, and emerging names such as Ola Electric and Ather has shown that there is no holding women back. Part 2. Can technology fight breast cancer? Women have always added value with their skill, innovation, and unique perspective, whether in boardrooms, in top leadership roles, or at the shop floor level. Yet, they have to work twice as much as their male counterparts to prove their worth. This was the first lesson Dr. Geeta Manjunath learned when she joined the Center for Development of Advanced Computing. A gold medalist in computer science from the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, she helped develop the first Indian commercial supercomputer in the 1990s. Geeta realized that she needed to show double the results for her to be treated at par with her male colleagues. Women are often overlooked, especially if you are forthcoming and outgoing. However, it is up to us to be bold and take the courage to speak up in a group. Though you may be the only female, you need to forget the gender and present the person in you, she contends. And this is exactly what Geeta did. She kept faith in her abilities and joined Hewlett-Packard Laboratories as a principal research scientist, where she worked for 17 years. Later, she worked as the lab director leading data analytics research at Xerox India. In between, she honed her knowledge by returning to IISc to pursue her doctoral degree in AI and data mining. In 2009, she was named as one of the top 50 NASSCOM IT innovators. No second thoughts. All was going well for Geeta until a personal tragedy struck. She lost her cousin to breast cancer in 2016, and it affected her deeply. The incident forced her to rethink how she could use technology to make a difference. If her cancer had been detected early, she could have survived. I began thinking about whether I could use AI as a tool for early detection of breast cancer, especially in women under 45. Almost 50% of the women detected with breast cancer are under 45. The current mammograms are often unable to detect it in younger women, just like in the case of my 42-year-old cousin, says Geeta. One woman is diagnosed with breast cancer every 4 minutes in India, and one woman dies of breast cancer every 13 minutes, making it the most prevalent cancer among Indian women. Unfortunately, almost 50% of breast cancer patients first visit the doctor when they are in stage 3, and 15 to 20% of patients visit when they are in stage 4, thus drastically reducing survival chances. Early detection is key to survival and can bring down mortality to less than 10%. This can happen with regular systematized screening programs, lower treatment cost, and higher treatment effectiveness. Knowing that technology could play a decisive role in developing an affordable testing tool for early detection, Geeta had no second thoughts about giving up her job so she could devote all her time and skill to finding a solution. Having completed her management education in 2015 from the Kellogg School of Management, Chicago, gave her the added impetus and confidence. In 2016, she founded Niramay, an acronym for Non-Invasive Risk Assessment with Machine Intelligence Health Analytics, a health startup. As the name suggests, the core technology of our solution is an artificial intelligence-led diagnostic platform that uses patented thermal image processing and machine learning algorithms for reliable and accurate breast cancer screening, points out Geeta. The Thermalytics boon. Called Thermalytics, the AI-led cancer detection test is radiation-free and affordable. The device is portable and automated to enable testing at both urban hospitals and public and private health facilities in rural areas. What makes the test more acceptable among women is that privacy of patients is given top priority. Unlike mammography, the imaging method is non-invasive and therefore not painful. So far, over 100,000 women have been screened with Niramay's device across 29 cities in India. One of the highlights of our device is that it is privacy aware. No one sees or touches the patient. We have a screen in between the technician and her. She just has to sit in front of the device while the technician sees the laptop. It's also radiation-free and doesn't cause any physical pain. This is a universal cancer screening solution and is globally relevant, states Geeta. It is no wonder that its popularity has spread beyond Indian shores and is currently being used in the UAE, Japan, Kenya, Turkey, Switzerland, Sweden, and the Philippines. It has also received regulatory clearance in the US and will be launched there soon. In fact, Niramay is the first Indian startup to have received regulatory approval from two major global regulatory bodies, the US FDA clearance and the European CE mark approval for a medical device for women's health. We have put an Indian startup on the list of top AI digital health and women-founded startups in the world and used technology to make a difference in someone's life, says a proud Geeta. The fact that Thermalytics already has 29 granted patents and also won the Confederation of Indian Industry or CII's Intellectual Property Award in November 2022 is a testimony to the impact women-led innovation and technology startups are making. Charting her path with academic brilliance. All these achievements are remarkable considering the challenges Geeta faced after setting up her startup. Setbacks caused by a severe resource crunch due to the demonetization policy implemented in 2016, the early death of her co-founder, and the passing of some senior team members during the peak of the COVID pandemic were heartbreaking and led to hardships. But Geeta did not let this break her spirit. It was her resilience and self-belief that helped her. She was able to convince investors to believe in her vision of saving lives and that a woman-led startup could be impactful. You have to create your own path because there is no set path before you as a woman entrepreneur. We needed to raise money as soon as I left my job. We had to buy high-resolution infrared cameras to experiment and be able to conduct clinical studies with hospitals. We had to learn to pitch and express the business impact and go-to-market or GTM strategy to bring investors and partners on board. Post-demonetization, an investor who had given us a term sheet for $1 million backed off. Luckily, we found better investors for our seed round with much better valuation too, she recalls. One of the reasons why Geeta was able to attract investment for her AI and thermal imaging-powered device was because of her experience in working with multiple image modalities, AI skills, and her proven innovation credentials. Investors realized that Thermalytics was a product of academic brilliance and an innovative mind perfected by robust research. While researching breast cancer, she chanced upon thermography. She learned how digital infrared thermal imaging is crucial for cancer detection as it records temperature profiles from various areas of the breast. The temperature distribution can determine the likely presence of a tumor. However, interpreting the results of the images is critical. It is here that Geeta's innovative diagnostic device uses AI to accurately detect whether it is a benign tumor or a cancerous lump. The problem with thermal imaging is accurately identifying the abnormality and interpreting the result. Our AI converts the temperature distribution to a cancer screening report. It predicts if there is an abnormality or not. After this, the patients can go for an ultrasound. As a consequence, instead of 100 people going for an invasive mammogram or ultrasound, only 2 to 8 who are detected with an abnormality need to go in for further testing, she points out. First steps towards success. Geeta shares that ensuring accurate, repeatable results also took some doing. First, they had to convince a hospital to partner with them as there was no good, publicly accessible thermal data available. The next and more difficult challenge was to convince women to take the test to create the training data. Making the test completely privacy aware helped attract volunteers. After Kasturba Medical College, Manipal came on board, the Niramay team screened 72 cancer patients and used thermal images to locate their tumors. Then they worked with a few more hospitals and were able to replicate the results on cancer patients. Publishing results of their successful clinical study in reputed journals not only brought recognition and validation to their efforts, but also boosted their reputation. The next goal was helping detect cancer in the general population. Geeta reached out to the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, or CDAC, the organization she had worked for earlier. Initially, the response to the free screening camp was slow. But then, much to her surprise and joy, there was a big jump in registrations. At first, we had just 4 registrations. I was very disappointed. However, to my surprise, after 12 noon, we had so many women coming in. In fact, there were over 10 women waiting even after 7:30 p.m. They were all very happy with the screening process, she recalls. In addition to the satisfaction of being able to raise awareness of early detection among so many women, the camp also provided Niramay with its first check. The MD was so happy that he gave us a check of rupees 5,000, although we had organized a free camp. It was our first paycheck, she says. Leaving no woman behind. Niramay has also held over 2,000 free screening camps for rural and urban women. Her startup works with state governments and non-profit organizations like ACT for Health to conduct free screening in rural areas. Punjab became the first state to start statewide breast cancer screening programs with thermalytics. Other states like Andhra Pradesh and Kerala have also begun this program in partnership with Niramay in some of their districts. In order to reach out to women from marginalized communities and low-income groups, Niramay has different rates for rural and urban screening. In rural areas, we provide scans for 100 rupees if a printed report is not required. As we are working with governments and grants, it is free for the end user. In urban areas, we charge 1,500 rupees. Since hospital settings require a detailed report, we want to test every woman, irrespective of her economical or geographical status. This will enhance early-stage cancer detection treatment and save lives, adds Geeta. It is the joy of being able to make a difference that makes everything worthwhile for Geeta and her team. I'll never forget a phone call I got from the president of the Karnataka Cancer Society. He called me one day and I was really nervous because we had organized a free screening camp there and I was worried something had gone wrong. He revealed that he had been conducting cancer screening programs for the last 50 years and every time he used the word cancer, women would run away. He told me he didn't know what I had done, but there were 100 people standing in line at our camp fighting to go next. And they were not letting them close the camp until they all had been screened. I get goosebumps when I remember that call, recalls Geeta. Niramay has also launched a free breast health helpline where women can ask any questions related to breast health and evaluate their risk of breast cancer using a validated machine learning based risk assessment service. This free WhatsApp chatbot +91 94834 34444 for urban women has an easy and user-friendly interface, and its online assessment test takes a few minutes. Unstoppable and invincible. Niramay has extended the application of thermalytics to areas other than breast cancer. In 2019, it collaborated with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to use thermalytics in detecting the presence of parasitic worm that causes river blindness. In 2020, amid the COVID-19 crisis, they also came up with solutions that use thermalytics to detect fever and respiratory diseases. In 2021, Geeta joined forces with Art Park, a non-profit foundation established by the Indian Institute of Sciences to develop X-ray Setu with support from the central government's Department of Science and Technology and IISc. The AI-driven technology uses X-ray images sent via WhatsApp to help determine if the subject is suffering from COVID. This innovation is a lifesaver in areas where CT scans and RT-PCR tests aren't available. Part 3. Is technology intimidating? Just as COVID provided Geeta the chance to innovate further and broaden the application of thermalytics, it presented Kolkata-based cousins Neelam Mohta and Pinky Bhaiya the opportunity to use technology to better the lives of senior citizens. On several occasions, both Pinky and I found that our parents struggled to use various apps on their phones. Luckily, they could ask their children to help them. But we realized that there were many senior citizens whose children were abroad or who were so intimidated by technology that they couldn't use their smartphones properly. We wanted to change that, shares Neelam. The motivation to empower them to overcome their fear of technology led to the beginning of Mobile Pathshala in 2019. What began with a handful of women in their 50s has now reached out to 3,000 people in the 45 to 80 age group. It is now in the process of expansion by appointing Mobile Pathshala ambassadors or franchises in other Indian states. This has been a huge achievement for Neelam and Pinky, both homemakers turned entrepreneurs, especially since the pandemic brought matters to a standstill within months of starting their initiative. Apps that seniors needed most in a time of adversity. When the country went under lockdown and things looked bleak for their venture, Neelam and Pinky decided to go online and help senior citizens learn to operate 3 apps they would need during the pandemic. The lockdown was truly a game changer for us. We switched to online classes. By reaching out via Zoom, we were able to teach people how to use WhatsApp. This helped them communicate with their friends and family and gave them a sense of community. This was important for their mental health, states Pinky. The other 2 apps prioritized for learning were Uber and YouTube. The second important lesson was how to be mobile and use the Uber app to call a cab if they needed emergency transport. We also understood that it was necessary for people to divert their minds from the pandemic and keep themselves positively engaged. So the third vital lesson was how to operate YouTube and how they could access entertainment and sports programs, explains Neelam. It was heartening for them to see 80-year-old Shakuntala Mohta, an avid cricket fan, take full advantage of her training by watching cricket on her mobile. Since she could not watch matches in the stadium, the now technologically savvy octogenarian follows the exploits of Virat Kohli and the Indian cricket team on her smartphone. Of course, going online means more work for Neelam and Pinky. Once they finalize the subject for the lesson, they send out instructions and links to the apps to be downloaded about 24 hours before the class begins. Phone calls were also made to explain the login process. But neither Neelam nor Pinky mind making the extra effort. We have made lives better by connecting family and friends. When they share how happy they were after making a birthday video for their grandchild or editing an earlier video they had made, we feel we have been successful in our mission, shares Neelam. Now their classes are conducted offline as well as online, depending on the needs of senior citizens. They charge 1,000 rupees for a private one-to-one offline class and 600 rupees for group online classes. For their usual online batches, classes are conducted thrice a week during the afternoon. The size of the class varies from 10 to 70. We know we are making an impact when we see 15 to 20 new admissions every month, a majority being women. This is an additional reason for us to feel proud. Apart from our aim of equipping senior citizens, we also want women to come forward and use technology to become self-reliant and make their own financial decisions, says Neelam. Making life smoother with tech. When this duo first started in 2019 in a small rented room in Kolkata, they didn't think that senior citizens would adapt to technology so joyfully and with an open mind. Meeting the first batch was a big moment for us. These people were so joyful about starting school once again that we knew we had made the right decision, recounts Neelam. Their thoughtfulness coupled with their patience is what helped increase enrollment. Initially, they put up posts regarding their classes on their Facebook and Instagram pages, but this did not garner the kind of response they were looking for. Then they realized their target audience was not scrolling through Facebook. Some were in yoga clubs and associations, while others were on online groups with limited participation on WhatsApp. They reached out through friends to spread the word among members of clubs and associations and also used WhatsApp. However, what really worked for them was the glowing references given by their first batch of students. Word spread among the community about two women who understood the technological travails of people with little or no knowledge of how to use smartphones and were willing to spend time training elders. The enthusiasm of both women and men, some as old as 80, to learn something that would add value to their lives was infectious and heartwarming, says Neelam. Invitations for lecture and demonstrations to members of the Bengal Rowing Club, Calcutta Swimming Club, as well as Pranam, the initiative by Kolkata Police to support senior citizens living alone in the city, helped to amplify mobile Pathshala. We taught many working professionals how to use Zoom and other video conferencing apps. It was new for everyone, said Neelam. The duo saw that many of their students were interested in apps like Canva to make birthday cards or edit pictures. Kumud Mitra, president of the West Bengal Fashion Council of the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, signed up because she wanted to create an album of her granddaughter's photos. She was so impressed with the duo's style of teaching that she took their help to launch a program on her official platform. Many students wanted to learn how to shop online using platforms like Amazon, eBay, Flipkart, and Zomato. This was a wonderful opportunity to teach the nuances of e-commerce and cybercrime. We started addressing issues such as bank frauds, banking systems, and privacy regulations, reveals Pinky. This benefited one of their senior citizen students who protected herself from cyber fraud. The warning given during class about not sharing any PIN or click on any unknown link saved her from losing her savings. It is this change that we wanted to bring in their lives. Whether it's senior citizens, stay-at-home mothers, aspiring entrepreneurs, or small-time businesswomen who want to expand their business, our success lies in the fact that they no longer find technology intimidating, says a happy Neelam. Part 4. the transformative power of women entrepreneurs and leaders. According to a recent India Brand Equity Foundation report, India has almost 15.7 million women-owned businesses that provide direct employment to 22 to 27 million people. It is estimated that over 30 million more women-owned businesses are expected to provide 150 to 170 million jobs by 2030. This underlines the huge transformative potential of women entrepreneurs and their contribution to the economy. Yet, women still face several barriers. At a recent tech conference, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman highlighted the urgent need for a greater push to ensure more women in leadership. Several government policies and schemes are helping harness this power of women by encouraging their entrepreneurial skills and aspirations. The Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, launched a Biotechnology Career Advancement and Reorientation Program, or BioCare, in 2011 to increase participation of women scientists in biotechnology research. This initiative aims to build capacities for women scientists after a career break to help them undertake independent R&D projects. The Department of Science and Technology has also implemented the Knowledge Involvement in Research Advancement through Nurturing, or KIRAN scheme, since 2014. This provides professional opportunities to women scientists and technologists to ensure gender parity in the science and technology sector. Another excellent initiative is the mobility scheme under the umbrella of KIRAN, which addresses relocation problems for women scientists working in regular positions in government organizations. It provides an opportunity to women scientists facing difficulties in their present job due to relocation and acts as an interim filler while the women scientists search for other career options at new places. There is also the Vigyan Jyoti program launched in December 2019, which seeks to sharpen young girls' interest in science and motivate them towards careers in STEM. Financial help for entrepreneurs is also available under the following schemes. The Dena Shakti scheme. It provides financial support to female entrepreneurs where a loan amount of up to 20 lakh rupees is given. An additional microcredit of up to 50,000 rupees can be availed under microcredit schemes. Udyogini scheme. It enables women between the ages of 18 and 45 and whose annual family income is 45,000 rupees or less to avail loan of up to 1 lakh rupees. Mahila Udyam Nidhi scheme. This scheme works through the Small Industrial Development Bank of India, or SIDBI, to engage women entrepreneurs and give them the cash flow to maintain their businesses. The cash provided under this plan can be used in the service, manufacturing and production areas and can get a credit of up to 10 lakh rupees for starting a small business. Stree Shakti scheme. Initiated by the State Bank of India, it helps women entrepreneurs who own and manage retail trade and business enterprises of professional and self-employed people like doctors, beauty parlor operators, etc. Women who own more than 50% share in an enterprise can get a credit up to 20 lakh rupees. A concession of 0.5% on the interest cost is given by the bank on credits of more than 2 lakh rupees. Security is not mandatory for credits up to 5 lakh rupees. Bharatiya Mahila Bank Business Loan Scheme. This provides a commercial loan for business women who want to start a new business in real estate or a small and medium enterprise, SME, in retail. Female entrepreneurs are given a highest loan amount of up to 20 crore rupees and a discount of 0.2% on a normal 10.15% or more interest rate. The Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises, or CGTMSE. Under this scheme, a collateral-free credit is made available to the micro and small enterprise sector where there is no requirement for collateral security for a loan of up to 1 crore rupees. Women-led manufacturing enterprises can avail credits of up to 20 crore rupees. State schemes for women-led startups. In Uttar Pradesh, the Her and Now's Entrepreneurship Support Program, implemented by Deutsche Gesellschaft für internationale Zusammenarbeit, or GIZ, on behalf of the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, in partnership with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. The Kerala Startup Mission, KSUM, offers a soft loan scheme. Under this, DPIIT-approved startups can avail seed funds of up to 15 lakh rupees. The scheme also provides technology commercialization support of up to 15 lakh rupees. Kerala organizes the Indian chapter of the She Loves Tech global pitch competition for women-led startups as part of its Women's Startup Summit every year. In September 2022, it awarded grants worth 1.08 crore rupees to 9 women-led startups. In 2022, Tamil Nadu launched Tori Lalangu, an initiative which gives a special package for women-led startups. Women entrepreneurs get an assistance of 15 lakh rupees from TAN Seed, a seed fund support scheme under Startup TN. TAN Seed has a 25% reservation for women-led startups. The Northeast Women Entrepreneur Networks has been creating awareness and an active ecosystem for women entrepreneurship in the states of Manipur and Nagaland. Karnataka Innovation and Technology Society, or KITS, in association with the Karnataka State Women Development Corporation, KSWDC, launched the Vriddhi scheme to provide loan assistance between 5 and 10 lakh rupees at 4% interest rate, repayable in 60 installments. To avail this facility, at least one director or partner of the company should be a female entrepreneur with substantial shares in the company. Support beyond funding. The government has also recognized that women entrepreneurs need support beyond funding. Assistance in developing a step-by-step plan to successfully market their service and help in crafting promotion strategies to find the right partners were equally important to ensure viability of the startup. Incubators and accelerators nurture an entrepreneurial mindset, provide access to funding, create networking opportunities, and connect with mentors and role models. They provide women the support system and the confidence to undertake the entrepreneurial journey. The Atal Incubation Center, Jyoti Institute of Technology Foundation, or AIC-JITF, is an incubation center supported by the Niti Aayog. Under the Startup India Seed Fund at AIC Banasthali, women-led startups have received seed funding of up to 50 lakh rupees. Similarly, under the DST-supported Nidhi Prayas Center, women startups get grants of up to 10 lakh rupees for deep tech prototype development. The Tech.WE by NASSCOM 10,000 Startups focuses on empowering, inspiring, and driving 10,000 startups by building the tech startup community in India. We Hub is the first state-led incubator in Telangana to foster and promote women's entrepreneurship. Over the last 5 years, it has facilitated financial linkages to the tune of 85.21 crore rupees for its entrepreneurs. What can we learn from a woman's entrepreneurial spirit? While there are more women in leadership roles today, their number in the technology sector is still low. Despite having the skill set to excel, the inherent and systemic gender bias and a lack of equity in opportunity impedes the growth of women. Yet, the entrepreneurial spirit of many women has soared above all these hurdles and leveraged technology to blaze new paths. They are the role models that are inspiring change. Here are 5 thought-provoking points to note. Women have unique leadership qualities and serve as role models. Gender should never be the reason to stop them from reaching the top. Women entrepreneurs are using personal experiences to leverage tech and create change like never before. When given the right opportunities, organizations with women as founders or co-founders are excelling. There is still not enough women in top leadership positions. India also needs more awareness around programs and schemes available for women entrepreneurs to grow. Igniting Ideas for Impact is an audiobook published by the Better India in association with Accenture India. Find out more about Accenture India's initiatives at www.accenture.com/in-en. Author Swapna Majumdar. Edited by Divya Setu and Tanya Singh.